Hi, everyone. This is Courtney Fitzpatrick. This is our second week of recording coronavirus related questions for the real estate market in the tri state area. Today we have Russ Putterman again answering those questions. Welcome back, Russ.
Thank you for having me.
So, to start, I did want to ask, what are some of the biggest updates in the market for this particular week, the week of 4/27?
Great. So, New York City has been pretty much status quo, quite honestly. We still can't show listings. There hasn't been a ton of new activity that's gone out. We share some market data on a weekly basis. Anyone that doesn't get that, feel free to reach out to us, and we're happy to share it. Um, you know, we're seeing the pace of units coming off the market has slowed down, which is good. People sort of understand, what's going on right now. There really isn't much new supply coming on, and not a ton is going under contract. So that's sort of what we're seeing in New York City. On Long Island, we actually put a new listing on the market this week, and there is a lot of activity ready to happen in that market for sure. The second that we're allowed to show again. That's for sure. There's a lot of demand and not a lot of inventory on the market anyway. In New Jersey, real estate agents are allowed to show, and there's activity happening, albeit slower. We went to contract on a property in Summit, New Jersey, at the full asking price actually this week. We got hired to sell 6,000-foot home in Marlborough, New Jersey. So people are looking to do things. So it'll be interesting to follow the activity, as the weeks progress. We're also seeing that there are people that are looking to leave Manhattan. And I don't think that's much of a surprise. I think that the people are going to fall into a few different buckets. Those initial things are happening, and they're coming to these outer markets.
Can potential buyers negotiate a home at a lower price right now?
So what we've seen in Manhattan, off a small sampling so far, is that deals that have entered contract during this COVID time, they're trading, up to about 6 or 7% below the asking price. Quite frankly, I thought it would be more than that. So we'll see as more data comes out. In Long Island, it's a little more tricky because with all this demand and still not being able to show, there's not a ton of deals happening. We're actually negotiating a deal right now that's very close to the asking price. And in New Jersey, like I said, we have a deal at ask. They are getting some concessions though with that deal, and I'm seeing things that are trading or asking prices that are being negotiated below what the seller's initial price is. However, it's not substantial. A lot of people are still of the mind that, look, we need to live somewhere, we need to buy and sell. Interest rates are still historically low, so price is holding better than I expected it to.
Okay, gotcha. And what tips do you have for sellers right now?
So if you're a seller and you're in New York right now, make sure that you're getting really high quality photography. If you want to list now, make sure you're getting very high quality photography and video made for your homes. I think that's going to become a bit of a new standard um, around selling in general. Um, I don't necessarily think though that a video and really high quality photos is going to sell your property long term. It's going to get people to the property, and that's going to be the standard. Um, unless a foreign buyer is buying an apartment in Manhattan, right? Which probably isn't happening now, regardless, or not that often, as it from an investment perspective. People are going to want to see the real estate, which is why not a lot's going on. In New Jersey, where we are able to show, it's sort of the same thing, right? We're going to do really high quality photos, pick and choose the right ones, along with some drone video if it's a nice sized property, to get the people to the home. Because ultimately, if they're going to be buying a home, if they live in New Jersey or in the tri-state area and they're going to be buying a home, they're going to go see it. especially if they can, um, safely see it, but see it. So I don't know. That's kind of my feeling around what you're seeing out there.
Okay, got it. And from your experience so far, I mean, you kind of noted to this before, but can homes still close this month? I know it's a common question.
Yeah, I mean, in New York, well, in all states, but especially in New York, where there's less, um, there's there's a difference between what's considered essential and non-essential. There's been a lot of remote closings. The biggest challenge that I see happening in New York City is the buildings themselves not allowing people to move in and out, which is actually a separate issue from closing. Um, but some situations arise where you can do a remote closing. So what that means is the management company and the banks and both attorneys and the buyers and sellers and the notaries are all willing to do everything remotely and close. However, the building itself won't allow you to move in. So that's an interesting thing that's happening in certain situations. But certainly things will close. We haven't had it this month, but we're hopeful to have closings next month, and we may not be back out of this yet. In other states where things are considered essential, yes, closings can still happen as usual.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for giving us these tips for the week. And next week, we'll be sure to answer any other questions. Feel free to contact the Focus team on the website, the contact form, or at info@focusreg.com.
Great. Thanks for having me.